Today is Monday, April 21st, 2-1. And there are many secrets and mysteries in life, right? And one thing that I realized I was meditating is age is just a number. Age is just a numero. So if you're young and you still think like how you used to think for days and days, months and months, or years and years, you're still what is that? There's no word for conde in English, but I guess like old-minded, kind of. You have a set mind, I guess you can say. So, like, age doesn't make you like out of style. Age doesn't. As you get older, it doesn't make you, like old. But it's your thinking, like how you think. Are you able to accept all these different kind of thinkings, new thoughts, new ideas? Are you able to accept these? And these actually determine if you are Gonde or not. So, recently I think I felt like that myself. Like, oh, never this, never that, right? 절대 이건 안 돼. 절대 이건 like 절대 is only used for God, It's absolute. It's only used for God because His covenant will never change. So, you gotta always think that this can never happen. This will absolutely be like this. Nope. After a minute, after an hour, after a week, after a month, you never know what the situation is going to be looking like. So really, do not lean on your own understanding. I've said this like many times, but don't lean on your own understanding, because these things can change. You never know. So don't judge things. Don't put it in your own perspective and trip over yourself, fool yourself, or be deceived by yourself, by your own thoughts. You know what I mean? So this is a really important lesson that you should really hold on to. You know what I mean? So yeah, that set mind is really, you should be able to get away. You should be more flexible, right? You should be more be able to think in that person's shoes. That's called consideration, right? So you should be able to be considerate for other people and be able to see the world in their glasses or their view, right? Or then you can never see the other side. You can never have, right? As Pastor Yu says, like, 반대쪽. So the four things that you gotta see: 현실, 사실, 진실, 영적사실. I just met somebody and I was explaining to him, right, why, even though he's happy with Christ, if you look at the reality, his situation is very kind of bad, because while he's working in a construction, he fell from like I don't know how many stories high, but then he fell and then he broke his back, and then he walks like he has like he had surgery and all that. But then I was asking, these things could have been avoided if you actually were able to be with God from the first place, right? Like after he experienced all these pain and traumas and difficulties, then he comes to God, and God has saved me, God has called me for this reason, that reason, but he still doesn't understand the reason. But he knows that God saved him, right? He's supposed to be paralyzed, he's supposed to be be unable to move, but then he's able to go around and stuff and be active. But what he really needs to, what we all need to realize is, look at the 현실, the reality, 사실, the truth, 진실, facts, 현실, 사실, facts, and 진실, truth, and 영적사실, spiritual facts. 영적사실, right? So really be able to see until those four things, then you will know why my problem is like this, why my problem is not fixed and not solvable. Is because you weren't able to see the spiritual facts. And when you see that there is a spiritual problem that needs to be fixed, if this is fixed, then the rest of the problems will be solved. Right? So it's like all the problems are created from the internal, not external, if you look at from the problems. So just know why God has called you, why God has given me these problems, why did God give me these difficulties between people and have relationship problems. Why are these people divorcing? Why are the parents divorcing even when they have children? It's because they don't see the spiritual reality, right? They don't see the spiritual facts. They are just looking at the truth, the reality, and then just deceived. They're just deceived by just looking at those things, right? So this is, if you're fooled, it's already done. If you're fooled, if you're tricked, it's already finished, right? You can't unfool yourself. You can't what is that? You can't unscrew yourself after you screwed yourself over. So you gotta always know these things, and this is how you get out of depression, you get out of your own thoughts and your own cage of your mind. And then ultimately, if you can't get out of your own cage and your own mind, you are God. That's meaning you're serving yourself. You're serving your own idol, your own brain, your own heart. Right? God seeks those who seeks after His heart. So, yeah, guys, just don't be deceived by yourself, from your own thoughts, from other people, because things are not what it really seems to be. That's the reality. So always search within. Look at those four things, those four important thing. The fourth really, really important thing, the spiritual facts. Always receive the answer to that. Alright? I'm just going through these obstacles and check it out. This is like 어디냐? 호압사 대한불교 개종. 부처님 오시는 날. Right? So, people are really not concluded. So a lot of people are living their life as it is. You need to really reform yourself. You need to change something, do something you haven't done. In order to become something you've never been, you have to do something that you never had. You never have. I don't know. It's kind of that kind of term, right? Yeah, man. English is beautiful. How you can express everything in a certain vocabulary. So, yeah, man. So I'll record more when I have more interesting things to say.